the Cinnabar Moth. Most moths tend to be plain white or brown, but you have this beautiful bright red marking on black wings. Why is that?
I am a striking cinnabar moth, and I fly by day, often mistaken as a butterfly. Sometimes I look like a red-hot ember fluttering across the grassland. I'm bright and red because I'm still slightly toxic, so the birds don't eat me.
Do you mind being mistaken for a butterfly?
Not at all. I get noticed, I get admired, so I'm happy with that.
So does anything eat you?
No, because of my toxicity. So when I was a young caterpillar, I fed off ragwort, and by feeding off the ragwort, I became toxic to predators. And then when I emerged into a moth, I'm still very poisonous and toxic, so I can fly happily without being predated on. So I thank my mother for allowing me to become invincible to others.
What would you say is your best feature?
Obviously my wings are my striking feature, so everybody can see me and admire me, and sometimes I put many butterflies to shame because I'm such a striking insect in the meadow.
Do you have a mouth?
I do have a sort of mouth, but I have a system where I can suck up and consume nectar from all the lovely flowering plants in the meadow.
Which flowering plants do you like?
Obviously ragwort is my favourite because that's where all my young will be, and that's where my caterpillars and family will thrive as they consume the ragwort.
How do you attract a mate?
I'm very, very bold, and I fly very fast, and I can seek out mates because I'm so striking, and they just can't resist my bold costume.
Would you say you're a good parent?
I am a very good parent because my young hatch, and where they grow and thrive, I provide a plant that will give them protection for the rest of their life. So not just when they're a caterpillar and young and feeding, but when they transform into this amazing bright coloured moth, I'm still providing protection because they're still poisonous to birds and other predators.
Is there any other moth or butterfly maybe that you admire?
No, I just admire myself. I'm just a selfish cinnabar moth.
How long do you live as a moth?
I will live just one season, and probably by the time end of summer arrives and my nectar source has finished and all the wildflowers die off, there's no food for me, so unfortunately I will wither and die. But even as a dead moth, my wings will still be bright and colourful, so in death I'm still attractive.
As a pollinator, which plants do you pollinate? Which plants do you help?
All plants in the meadow. I'm not particular to any one nectar source, so I'll happily go from plant to plant. The more brightly coloured they are, the more tasty they may well be, and I collect a huge amount of pollen on my thorax. Moths often get overlooked as pollinators, and we're some of the best pollinators in the meadow, and it's often our buzzy bee friends that get all the limelight.
How far can you travel in a day?
It depends on the weather, really. If it's a dry, still day and I don't need to fly far, then I'll just stay in the meadows. If I've got a good wind behind me and I can see some good flowering food source across the way, then I may fly a bit further.
Do you ever worry about the future?
No, because I can't see into the future. My life is just one season, and as long as I put many caterpillars on the ragwort plants, then my job is done for that year. I do worry that if humans pull out all our ragwort, then me as a species will become extinct. So I'm hoping that humans will start thinking twice about ragwort and leaving areas of ragwort to create a fine balance in nature for me to survive.
If your species did disappear, would we miss you?
Most definitely. humans would not see my striking red wings fluttering across the meadow like a burning ember that's just flying across the sky. And of course, I'm a really good pollinator.
What gets you excited?
Obviously the sight of ragwort, a yellow field of ragwort, a carpet of yellow ragwort. I just need ragwort. That gets me excited.
If you had a message for us, what would it be?
My message to you humans would be explore, enjoy, and don't destroy. Because if you destroy what we need, then you won't see me, the Cinnabar Moth.